What is up, everybody? Welcome to Theocracy. I am your host, Theo Snodgrass, comedian and podcaster out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Wherever you may be, thank you for making me a part of your day. It has been a while, folks. I have moved not far, still in Las Vegas, Nevada, but I've moved to a different room in the same house. So that's pretty exciting. Lots of things are happening today. Shout out to Grok for the thumbnail. Thank you very much, Grok. Yeah, it's been a busy time. We just had the F&T meetup out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and that was fine. It was very nice getting a chance to meet some of you. But yeah, no, I had to come out of the hiding for this because of the egregious behavior of Drake. I guess none of this is particularly surprising, but it is noteworthy, and we do have to talk about it. So it's nice to hang out with you guys once again. This has been good. Let's go ahead and check in with the chat real quick. See, I would have barked too. Yeah, I know you would have, buddy. By the way, this is such an important topic. We're going to be discussing it again on Touchgrass this Saturday. I'm going to bring back a panel show. We're going to bring together a whole panel, including Vagabond, and we're going to be discussing this because it's not about Drake. It's about the simp epidemic. And so that's going to be the larger discussion piece here. You're not supposed to bark. No, Roger's Nerd, you are not supposed to bark. Thank you. But we're going to be over that. Oh, Selena's here. What's up, Selena, in front of the channel? Hey, Theo, great seeing you back. Oh, nice seeing you guys too. Yes, we're going to be doing the F&T meetup recap show with you soon. Oh, very exciting. Good times. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It was nice seeing people, like I said. And today I was just speaking of characters in the Fellowship. I was just doing my first one-on-one interview with MSK earlier today. So that'll be fun. Make sure to check that out. Master Swag King. Be sure to check out his channel. I'd heard that his one-on-one interviews are like famously professional and polished and put together. And that's not how I describe it, but it's certainly a lot of fun sitting down with the young fella. I do support him. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So anyway, that was rad. Yeah, I don't know, dude. So I guess we'll get into our top story. I am a little reluctant to. I was kind of hoping some more people would trickle in for this, but that's what happens when you don't go live for 6 months, as people forget about you. But we will go ahead and nice to see you folks who did make the time. I guess we're going to go ahead and get into our top story. So for those of you that didn't see, how many of you are familiar with this whole Drake barking at goth girls thing? Okay, so this is what happened. I'm just going to lay it out for you. I'm going to give you the employed version of this story because I know a lot of you have jobs and don't have time to be keeping up with this. Okay, so this is all like a fake dating show where they had Drake do a bunch of fake dates with like prostitutes and streamers. And so none of this is real. All of it is scripted, but that almost makes it worse. Yeah, it's almost worse to know that Drake, that all of this was premeditated. Like Drake anticipated that he was going to be asked to say and do these things, and he still agreed to it. That almost makes it more upsetting. Anyway, we're going to get into the clip here in a minute, but I just, by the way, sponsor this half hour, Peach Vibe Celsius energy drinks. Peach Vibe Celsius energy drinks. I literally, my heart would not pump without them. So, if you want to sponsor me, please do. All right, let's go ahead and pull up this. Okay. There we go. This is the clip I got ready. So remember, this is a fake dating show where he's on a fake date with this real life whore. Go ahead.
Do it, I would.
Okay. You're saying this, and now I'm gonna like test it.
Okay. What do we? Just give me like one.
Would you bark for me?
Arr, arr, arr,
Ugh.
arr, arr, arr.
Good.
Yeah.
I get. Yeah, you know what the role play.
I'm like, I know exactly what to do.
You know
here.
what? Never mind.
We should.
Get that shit off my screen. Get that off my screen. Get out of there. Get out of here. Ugh. Oh, I'm sorry you guys had to see that. Ah, man. Okay, so after that, I don't want to show the rest of the clips from that show because that is how you get a copyright strike. But yeah, after that, he like bought her mom a house. He said, "I'll buy you anything you won the show. You can buy. I'll buy you anything you want." And then he bought her mom a house, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. It's just like Drake is like simp Santa Claus. He just like makes whores' dreams come true. And he also, okay, so I looked this up. He's completely ruined the simp economy. He also has this Strong Women, Stronger Drinks event, which is in its third year, where he invites them to, I don't know, some big venue in Toronto, and then he buys them like Birkin bags and fucking luxury cars and shit. And it's like, that's going to completely like ruin your sense of well-being. You know what I mean? Like your sense of proportion is going to be completely ruined. It's like, how can any future boyfriend you could possibly have compete with that if Drake bought you a fucking Maybach? I don't know. It's insane. Anyway, I think my objection to the bark, Strider, welcome to the channel. Strider making a good point. That's the weakest bark ever. Get some up behind it. Get some diaphragm. Get some proper vocal. Clearly anything with that. Yeah, it was a weak bark. You know what bothers me about it is he barked in a Canadian accent. It's like, you can kind of hear the... Drake was not this Canadian 10 years ago, was he? I don't remember Drake being this Canadian. I mean, now everything on him is like, yeah, Crody, fam, like he's way more Canadian now than he was. I don't remember him 10, 15 years ago having that much of a Canadian accent. I think he's like desperate for an identity. But here again, that was clearly like scripted, and he knows that like the internet thing is like bark at goth girls. So like this is an almost 40-year-old man trying to make himself relevant to Zoomers. And that in itself is pathetic, but also like, I think what bothers me about it is Drake is maybe the most notorious womanizer of the current year. And you can tell every time you see him talking to women, it's obvious he has no game whatsoever. His entire system for getting with women is just buying them shit. He doesn't have charm. He doesn't have charisma, and he never had to learn because he's been rich since he was like 22 years old. By the way, this goes back to Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, Drake. Like, I don't know if you guys are fans of like the So Far Gone mixtape. You've been listening to Drake that long, but like he literally has a song about, oh man, aren't strippers, sympathetic human beings? And it's like, no, not really. Not really. But he has this like, he just never grew up out of that male phase of like romanticizing whores, I think. And, paying for the box is like a really good strategy for him because he has virtually unlimited money. So paying for box is like a good strategy, I guess. I don't know. The fact that I guess what bothers me about it is he is always the most attractive man in almost any room he's ever in because he's a really successful recording artist. He's talented. He has like $1 billion. He's 6'3". Like every metric, he's like the biggest dick in every room he's in pretty much. And even he's parking for this like random streamer chick who like is only attractive because of the makeup and how much surgery she's had, like this isn't, I don't know. And I don't know. It's just disappointing. Where are our male role models? Do you think John Wayne would be out here barking at goth girls? Although that would be a funny AI cartoon. If somebody could make that, that'd be sick. Yeah, Can Canadians be less Trudeau and more Red Green Show, please? No, they can't. They're stuck like this. That sucks because like Drake is supposed to be, this is supposed to be the best they could do. You know, this is supposed to be the best they had to offer. I don't know. It's so disappointing now that we've got like nobody. He's like the big God, even Drake, he's supposed to be like our best one. Women literally throw themselves at him, and even he's out here barking for goth girls. We got no hope for the average man. You know, no hope for man. Where's a man with dignity? Where's a man with just a little bit of dignity? Now, again, we are going to be having a panel discussion within the larger grassosphere. This is a controversial view. Remember, my good friend Vagabond, friend of the channel, he's defending barking at goth girls. But of course, he gets like stepped on at conventions. Like, so he's into the whole thing. Again, whatever floats your boat, I guess. But just make better choices, guys. It's what I would say. Make better choices. It's frustrating because I want good things to happen to people. I want good things to happen to people. I want human flourishing, guys. I want people to be happy. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's bad. It's just, how is this the best we could do? Like as a civilization, as a people? I don't know. I struggle with it. And it's weird. This is kind of a side issue, but just the overwhelming popularity of like dating shows, like, you know, Love is Blind, everything from like Love is Blind, Love Island, even like Pop the Balloon or whatever, even these like internet shows, this overwhelming proliferation of shows of people going on dates coincides with the same cultural moment that a lot of people have just completely given up going on dates, where people are like not forming relationships, you know, which is horrific. Is we have this like this like apocalyptic birth rate collapse. We have the complete system failure of relationships between men and women. And at the same time, it's incredibly popular for people. One of the most common ways for people to tune out is to watch these dating shows. I don't know. I wonder how much of that is like trying to simulate what you can't get in your real life. Also, that it's at a much higher level of like drama than you would ever tolerate in a real relationship, or at least than most people would. Getting back to Drake, though, like I said at the beginning, this is clearly a skit, right? So this is clearly meant to be funny and entertaining. And to his credit, if the goal was to just get as much entertainment, as much interest on the internet as possible and get a bunch of people to pay attention to what you're doing, mission accomplished. But like, Jesus Christ, it's just setting men back decades. It's like, guys, when are we got to platform some guys with self-respect, please. Like, I know it's supposed to be funny, but is it funny? Is it funny? Did anybody laugh, or did you cringe horrifically and roll your eyes? I don't know. And then on the one hand, you know, to play devil's advocate to myself, I think it's kind of great that the most successful rapper in the world right now is a total fucking dork that has like no game at all with women. Because, you know, for a long time, rappers were cool, right? Rappers were like the coolest guys were rappers, and they were like tough and they could fight, and they've been like shot before, and they got women, and they talked slick, they talked cool, like Snoop Dogg or 50 Cent. You know, these were cool guys that were like tough and had like street credibility. And then the wheelchair guy from Degrassi got famous, and he became the best rapper in the world. And that was kind of the end of that. It just became the world. It's just like the world's biggest dork is also the world's most successful recording artist. And he has like zero discernible ability to talk to women successfully. I don't know, like, I don't know. And yet, like, again, like, I'm going to throw a party and just get a bunch of women at my house, like, just like buy them luxury cars. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I don't know. To me, it reads as like someone who's like desperate for women's approval and like lacks a strong internal sense of self. Also, not to mention, Drake is almost 40 years old. Like, it's one thing to be making. Okay, if you're like 22 to like 25, and all your songs are like, when I'm crying by myself because this stripper won't text me back. Like, if that's all your songs, that's fine. But if you're almost 40 years old and your music has evolved, not at all. He's made like 12 of the same album. And don't get me wrong, I loved it every time. I absolutely got it. I loved Iceman. I thought Iceman was fucking great. But it's just hard for me to consistently come out and defend this man's public behavior when he's out here barking at goth bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me. As much as I enjoy the music, as much as I enjoy it, it's hard. Okay, the Taylor Swift of the rap world. Yes. Okay, so I've said this before that Drake is Taylor Swift for boys, and I still think that's true. I still think that's true. Drake is Taylor Swift for boys, 100%. So, and I get it. It's fun. When his music comes out, it's awesome. Sometimes he captures exactly the right mood. If you're at a party, you don't want to listen to Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry. He doesn't have good party music. Yeah. It's, but it's good, you know? But then it's like, this man is like 40 years old. At some point, when are you going to, I wish he would demonstrate some kind of like ability to like self-reflect and grow as a person if he's going to be as famous and influential as he is. This looks like desperate for attention to me. This looks like the hello fellow kids. It looks like I'm going to be trying to be relevant to the Zoomer generation by appealing to streamers. And maybe that's the right way to do it. I don't know. Who am I to judge? You know, maybe that's the cost of staying in the spotlight now. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just deeply disappointing. I wish it were not that way. Also, for those of us playing along at home, fellas, please do not bark at women. I know that goes without saying. You think it would go without saying. Please do not bark at women. Don't do that. It's just not because it's like bad to do. It's just, there's nothing morally wrong with it. It's just a bad strategy. It's just not a great way to impress them, I wouldn't say. So just don't do it. Just don't do it. You don't find it impressive. Bad strategy. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Hey, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. I will say that in defense of Drake. So Kendrick Lamar came out and basically insinuated that Drake and all his friends were pedophiles, basically, right? And downstream of that, I was like, oh man, somebody's gonna get arrested. He's gonna go to jail. He's gonna lose all his sponsorships and stuff like that. And then nothing happened because there's literally 0 people who are claiming to be a victim of Drake. There's like 0 credible cases at all. There's no one. Like, everyone just started thinking that because Kendrick Lamar said it. There's no one who came out and said, I was victimized by Drake at this age and such and such and so and so. Now, he's done a lot of stuff that I personally find to be weird. But that's not the same thing as like being a sex pest. So I will say that in his defense. But I think he's like, this is somebody who, I don't know, they say you stop maturing whenever you get money. And he got money when he was like 15. So I think that's what happened. He just strikes me as like a grown-ass 15-year-old boy to me. And he spends his money exactly the way you would expect like a 15-year-old with money to spend it. So that's like just a complete lack of growth as a human being. It's a bummer because, you'd like to see it. You'd like to see, the most popular recording artist in the world be texting Millie Bobby Brown when she was 15, LMFAO. I mean, I text my niece. She's 15. But actually, I don't text her ever. I always text her dad if I need to get her attention. Actually, I've never needed to get her attention. She's always just needed to reach out to me. No, you might have a point about that now that I'm thinking about it. But I don't know. Again, my problem with the Millie Bobby Brown story was always that she didn't claim to be a victim. So if she's not claiming to be a victim and she's trying to get people to drop it, then these people who are trying to make her a victim on her behalf, I don't think it's necessarily like, it depends on what you're texting the person, but I think, I don't know. The problem with saying that you can't have any contact with any person under the age of 18 is like that eliminates the possibility for mentorship. So it's not completely crazy for me to think that maybe he was famous when he was really young and he was trying to help other people who are becoming famous when they're young. I don't know. I guess it would depend on the context of the texts, I guess. I don't know. But like a lot of people make a big deal out of that, but she doesn't, you know? So she's never said like, and also like texting somebody is kind of different than being an actual sex criminal. You know, those are different things. And also, he also has this weird tendency. He showed like an interest in like girls' high school basketball and stuff like that, which people read as weird. Okay, I don't know if this is like he's actually like a sex pest or if he's just like an adult child who just doesn't understand boundaries because no one ever says no to him. So I don't know, who doesn't understand like social faux pas or like how things look. You know, I don't know. I don't know which that is, but that's not the same thing as like him being what I think is pretty obvious is that he's like just not an admirable person. Like it seems like a person who is desperate for attention and social approval and wants very badly to be relevant to a younger audience. And it's weird because like a lot of people seem to like want his attention and want his like they want him on record, but he seems like just like the weirdest guy. Like he has I think this is the first time like one of the biggest celebrities in the world has had like zero aura and zero cool factor. Like, okay, like I think we're used to like, okay, Michael Jackson was a very weird guy, but Michael Jackson had aura. I don't think anybody's disputing that. You know, Elvis had aura. I don't know if Drake, this is because Drake is in the social media age, but this is like, he's almost like anti-aura. He's like, he has like negative aura almost. It's just like, he's just a giant dork, not even to the point of being relatable. Like the fact that that's the thing I think that bothers me the most about the barking at goth girls thing is that so many people were in the comments talking like, oh, this is relatable behavior. This is like, but like, why? Why? Here's the thing you got to know about goth girls. If they were actually hot, they wouldn't have to do that. Like, goth is a costume so that like mids can get the same attention that hot girls get. So you got to know that. And by the way, this is the same rule with cosplay chicks too. Like the reason they're doing that is because they're actually mid and they're trying to cover it up. Like, and then if they're wearing the certain costume, whether it's the goth or the cosplay or whatever, then they can get the same attention that they would, that a hot girl would normally get. So that's what's going on with that. So don't be fooled, fellas. Don't be fooled. Also, that goth girl is probably not, she's not a hot dommy mommy. She just has autism. That's what's happening, fellas. So that emotional distance you think you're picking up, she's just not connecting with you. That's fine. It's fine. It's just you think that there's something going on there. It's not. It's completely in your imagination. It's a complete projection of your unconscious desires. Would be my suggestion. Yeah, dude, I don't know. It fucking sucked and I hated it. I don't want to talk about this anymore. This has just been such a bummer. I don't know. And it makes me mad as I defended Drake during the whole Kendrick thing. I thought a lot of the, here's what I'll say about this. So the Drake and Kendrick thing, it's like, you could say that, Kendrick is a more technically talented rapper. You would say that he did better in the short term, but like, eventually he went back into hiding, and we all got bored with no Drake songs on the charts. We had nothing to dance to, nothing to groove to, nothing to be sad to. And then Drake came back, and everybody's like, oh yeah, this guy's really good at music because he's pretty good at singing and he's pretty good at rapping. And we put those two things together, like, and then he could do like so many different genres of music. And internationally, it's not really a contest. So he is way, 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 way more popular. And that's not really, up for discussion. And so that's kind of indisputable. And he's been like the number one guy for like 15 years. So that's like an incredible run of excellence. You can say, oh, well, he's been artificially boosted by, music executives and so on, or record labels or whatever. And it's like, that might be true, but I don't know. Nobody ever said the music wasn't good. We just said the guy was kind of a dork, and that's fine. He is kind of a dork. It's just weird. I think we're just used to rappers being cool. I really do think that's the problem with Drake, is that now that the most famous guy, one of the most famous rapper, is a total fucking dork who's like awkward around girls. How can you? I don't understand how you could hook up with that many girls and still be awkward around girls. How have you not learned your lesson yet? How have you not learned, bro? How have you not learned? How are you this bad? Again, I understand that it was just a skit, but I think honestly he's gotten sloppy because he doesn't really have to try. He's just like, hey, yeah, I'll just like, hey, do you want to? I'll fuck me. I'll buy you. I'll like fly you out to the Galapagos and buy you a Maybach. That's like unbeatable Riz. Most women are going to take you up on that. Meanwhile, I gotta talk to bitches. I gotta make them laugh. It's fucking fickle, Let's see. Rap in general kind of isn't popular anymore. Have you noticed that? Very few rap artists top the mainstream charts anymore. Yeah, well, it's definitely gotten a lot worse too. That's the thing. In general, the popular music has gotten a lot worse. And the shift to streaming has meant artists don't really have as much money anymore. And yeah, dude, it's just gross. A lot of people say USAID had something to do with that. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't looked into it, but yeah, there's hardly any I don't know. There's nothing that appeals to me. Maybe it appeals to, maybe there's other people out there. I don't know. Maybe because I'm not a teenager. I don't know what teenagers are listening to, but there's nothing being made right now pretty much that appeals to me. I mean, the new Drake album, I realized the new Drake album, you think it's really good, but then you listen to like older music or stuff that was out before, and it's like, damn, this shit is really good. This is what I would like them to make, but they can't, make stuff like that anymore. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not a teenager or whatever it is, but like I am just not into what's coming out now. So maybe it's not for me. But the other thing too is like artists don't sell tickets the way they used to, because concert tickets have gotten so expensive and people just don't have that kind of money. So the amount of money in music just isn't quite the thing it used to be, at least at the artist level. The executives are still finding ways to do well, and the streaming companies, I assume, are doing very well. But yeah, it's like kind of sucks. Well, let's that was a lot of fun, fellas. Let's move off of that. I actually want to go to our next story, which is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez broke up with her fiance. Isn't it crazy? Folks, have you noticed that all of the most racist anti-white chicks are always married or engaged to white dudes? Just like the most white supremacist dudes are always dating non-white women. That's a weird thing that's going on. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, one of my favorite examples of this that I always used to go to was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And there she is. There's the ginger that she broke up with. There he is. Nice guy. Friend of the channel, whoever this guy is. This guy, friend of the channel. Anyway, so she used to date this guy. And this is a video of her. We're going to watch this real quick. This is her freezing her eggs at 36 years old, which is weird because at that point she had been dating this guy for 10 years. So I don't know if you're dating somebody for 10 years and you're 36 and then you're like, fuck it, I'm going to freeze my eggs. I think I've still want to squeeze some more time out of this career. That's a little wild, but okay. Let's see what she's got.
Don't be weird about this, even though I know all of you will be. Okay.
You know,
That wasn't so bad.
all right, we don't have to, guys, and I've said this before, we don't have to share everything, right? Like, we don't have to put everything on the internet, right? I mean, you know, we don't have to share everything. Let's see. Like, these are gross. Remember when elected officials weren't attention-seeking bitches? I do remember that. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we didn't need to see her doing all those shots and everything. We didn't need to see that. But it's weird, like freezing your eggs at 36 when you've been dating the same guy for 10 years. I understand if you like don't have anybody, but also 10 years is too long to be dating. Like, shit or get off the pot. Figure out what you're going to do. Yeah, then when asked about her relationship a day later, she tells someone she doesn't talk about her personal life. That's crazy. Yeah, well, that's so anyway, she ends up breaking up with the guy. I actually have some clips of them together that we're going to look at. I actually think this guy is better off. Let's see. We have this clip of them when they were together that has been going around. So we're going to go ahead and pull that up. Boop. This was
So
during
right.
This was during let's see. I don't know when this was actually, but we're just going to watch it. This is sometime during when they were together.
What has been helpful to you in combating racism?
By the way, anytime your girlfriend asks you, what have you been doing to combat racism? It's a bad day. I've been contributing. That's what I've been doing. I've been contributing as much as I can, using slurs casually. Anyway, let's see what he says.
I think it's helpful and important to talk to other white people
about
racism.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, they don't want to be racist. They don't think that they're racist, but they also don't know some of the things that they believe or say are and can be racist. And
so you guys are a bunch of closet racists, just so you know. You're racist and you don't even know it. By the way, is it just me or does he have kind of a gay voice? Chat, is that just me or do you also hear the gay voice? Go ahead.
And I think one of the effective ways is just to talk and kind of help teach them about why some of the things they believe or say or think are wrong, not necessarily racist, but that they're wrong. And that'll sort of chip away and, contribute to some development in this area, but not necessarily take somebody from being a racist to not being a racist in one conversation.
And it's just always being open to learning about racist things that we may have said or done.
Bro, it's like she has a gun to his head. It's like she has a gun to his head, dude. It's so bad. And and the other thing too is it kind of, I wonder if this is in response to him saying or doing something racist, and this is how he's making it up to her so he can get access to the box again. I wonder what the context of, what was the conversation? What was the pretext? What was the conversation that led up to the making of this video? I gotta be honest, I feel bad for the guy a little bit. I mean, he's out now, but I do feel bad.
without judgment and defensiveness.
Ah, there it is. Okay. So that's that. Yeah. So that was what he was dealing with on like a day-to-day basis. Jeez. Anyway, so then she posted this live stream shortly after. So a lot of people are saying that this was her kind of talking about her fiance without talking about her fiance. It's weird because it was like that she says she froze her eggs, and then the story broke that she'd actually broken up with her fiance like 2 years ago. So this is actually not a recent breakup. So I guess at the time she froze her eggs, everyone thought she was with her fiance because she does not talk about her personal life. I guess they'd already broken up or whatever. That's crazy. Can you imagine being with one of these fucking commie race psychos and having, as a white person, and having to do like a racism apology video like that? Holy shit. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. That's just sad, to be honest. No one thinks that's a sign of success. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Yeah, she's tough to. Oh, gee, he is flaming. Yeah, Selena's gaydar is pretty strong. But yeah, he's strong. That's what I'm saying. He has like kind of a gay voice. I wonder if that's actually the situation. I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows? But figured the commie would seek out to root out hidden thoughts. Yeah, big time. So yeah, he's trying to have like a struggle. It's just like trying to have a struggle session. Imagine being a white person and married to somebody like this. It would be excruciating. Oh man, I will say I think like a lot of white women are worse in this category though. People were speculating that the reason so many like racist guys end up dating not white women is because white women are like insufferably liberal and anti-racist. So it's easier to find a racist non-white woman than it is to find a racist white woman, which is deeply paradoxical, but actually does make sense if you think about it. Like, it only makes sense if you actually talk to people. If you're just on the internet all day, it's not going to make sense. But if you actually talk to humans in real life, it's going to make a lot of sense. All right. So we got another one of these. So people are saying she said this on a live stream and then deleted it. And people said this was her talking about her fiance, kind of sneak dissing him. So we're going to listen to this.
By a loser, I mean someone who doesn't respect women, someone who doesn't respect you, someone who doesn't treat you well, someone that doesn't support your growth as a human being. By a loser, I mean.
So again, she was just going off about the kind of guys that that young women should stay away from if they're ambitious. And I, on the one hand, that's not terrible, but I think she's talking about her own advice. I think she kind of feels like, if I had to guess, I mean, again, she wouldn't be freezing her eggs if she thought the guy she was with was awesome. She'd just be having kids with him. Especially like, I know she wants to like be president or whatever, but like, I think having kids would do a lot to, soften her public image. But be that as it may. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. It's just kind of the iconic millennial girl boss. She's 36. She's already done a lot in her career, and she wants to do a lot more in her career. Right. So she's like extending the clock. She's buying more time, and I think that's what, and I think her doing it makes it normal to discuss, publicly. And I think it normalizes it and it makes it more socially acceptable because like, oh, here's somebody from the political class who's, doing this. I think a lot of women from my generation, AOC and I are very close in age. I think a lot of people from my generation, women are in that situation where they spend a lot of time on their careers. They didn't really do a lot of the family stuff they maybe wanted to do. And egg freezing grants them that opportunity. Potentially. And I think it's a huge bummer the way that I think our culture in general tries to tell women that the most satisfying thing they can do in their life is like go after their career and kind of forego relationships when I think most of the meaning in life for most people comes from your relationships to other people. That's most people most of the time. And that's true for men and women. But it's especially true for women. I think your relationships with other people is a lot of where you get meaning and purpose from life, just as a human being. And if you do want to have children, there is a finite time limit on that. You can extend it a little bit, but like egg freezing also doesn't always work. That's the thing. Like it actually has a really high rate of failure. And I think a lot of women are being told that that's like a foolproof way of buying more time. And it's not always, unfortunately. That's a huge bummer. That's a huge bummer. I mean, I think it's a fucking deeply sad and catastrophic that we've kind of put a lot of women in this position where that's their only option, because at this point, the other thing too that I don't think we are honest enough about is relationship skills take practice. It takes practice to get good at being in a relationship, and it takes practice to get good at to build a successful career. And it takes there's only so much time in the day. So if a lot of your time is being eaten up by your career, you're only going to have so much time to invest in your relationship. And a lot of women do not want a guy who's just sitting on the couch at home picking his ass, right? So if she's going to have an awesome career, then he's going to have an awesome career. And that means them both working on things and growing kind of in opposite directions. And again, I don't know what his deal is. I'm assuming he's what I've heard, unconfirmed report, but what I've heard is that he's quite wealthy, which makes sense. And I don't know if that's because she's been like redirecting like ill-gotten gains towards him, or if he has his own money or whatever the fuck the deal is. But yeah, it's a huge bummer. It is kind of weird. Like, as much shit as she talks about white men in particular, the fact that she's married to like a giant ginger, not even, what's crazy is he's not even like a good looking white guy. I know this is fucking me up. I'm not trying to like, no homo, obviously, but like, it's the fact that he's so homely. Like he looks like a Mr. Potato Head, you know, he's not like a good, it's not like a hot white guy, you know. I guess maybe if he has money, I don't know. And he's also really tall. So he's like, she might be like ogre maxing or Shrekking. What do they call that? Shrekking. That's the kids are calling it. She might be Shrekking before Shrekking was cool. But yeah, it's really, really kind of a bummer. Ugh, kind of a bummer. Let's see. She's my age, but looks 40. I will say this. AOC does look good. I already slid into her DMs, actually. That's real. I posted a screenshot on my Twitter. I already slid into her DMs, fellas. So you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I'm sure I could bring her around. Just give me time. I really believe in myself. So I'll let you guys know if she responds. Let's see. The biggest lie with this nonsense is women thinking it works. It doesn't. But then again, I don't think they care. If they did, they'd have kids by now. Yeah. She's not attractive either, though. I mean, I don't think she's that bad. She's, you know, I liked her. As she started to put on weight, I started to like her more. I think when she was skinny, I agree. She looked a little scary. But now that she's a little squishier, I like that. I can change her. Theo. Yes, 100%. I could bring her around. It's not even a question. That's the thing. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and you have to believe in yourself because nobody else will. So that's right. In this life, nothing is guaranteed. You have to believe in yourself. Okay? Date that crazy girl. Date that communist girl with the great tits. Do not be swayed by commie tatas. That's what everyone says. That's the same thing. Whiskey Capitalist tweeted that at me too. You can't save communists. I disagree. Chat, you guys are haters. First of all, you guys are haters. Samael, the infamous friend of the channel, but you guys are some haters. I could fix her 100%. Bring it around. Easy peasy. That's light work. She already likes white guys. That's halfway there. She already likes white guys, and I'm half ginger. That guy she was dating is fucking uglier than me. I fucking dude. Besides, I'm already in the DMs. We're going to see how it goes. But I believe in myself. By the way, okay, that's enough of that story. We're actually going to do one more. So this is a video. This is a little old, but I wanted to get to it. This is from a couple weeks ago. AOC is the angler fish of commies. That's true. It's weird because she's a communist and yet she's so well fed. Sponsor this half hour. Big Booty Latinas. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. Okay. So I wanted to get to some more videos. As much as fun as it is to talk about this AOC thing, it is enjoyable. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. Couldn't happen to a nicer gal. Obviously, you never want to see anybody's relationship implode, but I did want to see her relationship implode just because I feel bad for the guy. You know, so my theory, and one of the theories is that he voted for Trump in the last election, and that's why she dumped him. That's the theory. I don't know if that's true or not. I hope that's true. I don't know how any like white guy who likes himself could be a leftist at this point. I really don't. Like, I don't know, because people, you know, my friends, I used to hang out with leftists a lot more. My friends on the left ask me, you know, Theo, why are you not like a Democrat? Why are you not leftist? Why you not hang out with leftist people and support leftist causes? And it's like, because like I would have to apologize for existing every time I had a thought, you know? And I've noticed when I hang out with right-wing people, we don't have to agree on everything, but I can still have my own thoughts and we can hang out. We can be friends and I don't have to apologize for existing. Then I never have to apologize for like immutable characteristics about myself, which is one of the really shitty things about hanging out with left-wing people, man, is you kind of got to do that. It's a huge bummer, you know? Oh no, Ginger Gay lost his beard. So anyway, that's true, actually. And this is the thing. Now that I've heard the guy's voice, I do strongly suspect that he was actually gay this whole time. I do strongly suspect that, you know. Weird that they didn't have kids, though. I understand she was busy with her career or whatever, but people have kids and Congress. People do that. So I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm saying it's like, I don't know. Let's get to this video. This is something that was popping around the internet that I wanted to show you guys. So this is also a skit, to be clear, but it's emblematic of some larger trends in the culture. So I wanted to talk about it. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Go ahead.
Are you?
28.
Attachment style?
Secure.
Credit score?
780.
Therapy?
I go once a week.
You want to go get drinks after?
How about we go to my place?
Are you?
All right. So remember, folks, this is a skit. This is a young lady demonstrating how high her dating standards are by going through a list of things that she would hypothetically ask a guy. So she asks him about his attachment style and his credit score and so on. And then when he tries to have casual sex with her, she dips out because she has high standards or whatever. So, but notice the things that she's choosing to ask him about, right? Attachment style. So those of you who don't know what an attachment style is, that's therapy speak. It's a therapy speak way of understanding relationships. That's all you got to know. So when she's asking him, do you go to therapy? And he says once a week. Remember, a lot of women are not willing to date a guy, or at least say they are not willing to date a guy that doesn't go to therapy. Right. And so a lot of this is, a lot of women say, like they may say things that differ from the way that they actually behave in real life. So I'll totally give you that. Strider says therapy language isn't a high standard. Right. And that's the point. When she's asking you if you go to therapy, or when she's using a therapy speak kind of model for evaluating you, she's not actually, what she's actually doing, it's a compliance test. It's like, do you march to the leftist orthodoxy? Do you agree with me on everything? That's really what she's asking you for. You know, it's kind of the same thing as asking, do you go to church, or what church do you go to? So it's kind of like, hey, what are your beliefs about the world? And do they match up with like my metropolitan, urban, monoculture, leftist, woke way of looking at the world? Do they match up with that? Like, yeah, therapy is a scam for shrink profit and a crutch for the weak and gullible. And I think, especially now, it's not that there's zero value in psychology, but psychology has become like a substitute religion in terms of the importance it has for a lot of people and them understanding the world. Like, they use therapy as a substitute for what you used to get out of like confession or talking to a sacred priest, or, you know, the therapist is kind of performing the same role as the priest would in a more conventional religion, only it's performing that role in the woke religion. So it's integral to, I don't know. I think it's part of, and it's weird because therapy isn't, a lot of people don't go to places to get challenged. Therapy degraded for much the same reason karate schools degraded in the 90s. So it used to be a karate school was a place where you went to be challenged. And then it became a place that you went to get validation, because people would pay money to be able to get a black belt, right? But if they got challenged too much, they would stop going. So the schools that made them more money were the ones that were handing out belts really easily and not teaching a rigorous curriculum. And therapy's kind of like that. Some people go to therapy because they want to grow as a person. And some people go to therapy because they want to be told how right they are. And you will lose clients as a therapist if you consistently challenge people to improve, whereas you will retain clients a lot better if you just tell people how great they are, especially if you're working with a lot of women. And let's be real, women are the ones who go to therapy. So that's the issue there. So what we're talking about there is what she's really asking is do you share my worldview, and are you going to be someone who is I guess going to be compliant? You don't want, let's see, there is zero value in therapy conducted by professionals who have no interest in fixing anything. That's the thing, is like, we have more therapists than ever, more access to mental health care than ever, and we have more mentally ill people than ever, and more people on psychiatric medication than ever. So if the solution to these problems worked as well as we say it does, then why does the proliferation of the solution also seem to correlate with the proliferation of the problems they're supposed to address? That's a really good question, and I have yet to hear a good answer for that. And I think it's because we're asking for therapy to do a lot. First of all, Samael's exactly right. The incentive is to keep people in the chair as long as possible, right? That's the incentive. So let's see. Hi there. Hey, what's up, Kevin? What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Nice to see we have people over on Kick. Good friends will beat your ass when you eat, or infinitely more valuable than validation. You pay $300 an hour for a Christ. Most hookers charge less. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is about a woman asking you to, or saying she won't date men who do therapy. I think a lot of women are assuming, first of all, they're assuming therapy is helping them, when it's actually, in many cases, making them more selfish and more entitled and harder to get along with. But they assume that it's helping. So that's one. Two, they assume that therapy helps men. And what we know is that traditional talk therapy, where you just sort of like talk about what you're feeling and why, is not nearly as helpful to men as having a task-oriented approach, where you're like, all right, these are the goals I want to attack. These are the tasks I'm going to get done this week, and then going after it. And also, if you really need to talk, a lot of times what you need to do is go hang out with your friends over an activity and then talk to each other during the activity. That's why a lot of men prefer to relate to each other. And women don't relate to each other that way. Take it easy, Samael. I wonder how these women would react if you told them you'd graduated from it. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think all of us have, like, I went to, I'm not speaking from a place of inexperience. I've been to therapy a lot in my life. I got some stuff out of it, but eventually you got to keep it pushing. Eventually you got to think of something else to do. Like, I mean, I think this idea, the medical model of psychiatry says that you need to just be in therapy forever, no matter what. And I just don't think that's true, or that like everyone can benefit from therapy. And I just don't think that's true. I think most people are looking for the kind of guidance informing their worldview, community involvement, social rituals, a sense of community, and someone to go to when you've got something really stressful that you need to talk about. That kind of stuff you get from strong social connections, maybe a good church community, maybe a good relationship with your family. There's also a trend in therapy right now of isolating people from their parents. This is a parental estrangement. People call it an epidemic. I don't know how widespread it actually is. It's hard to get good data on that, but there's a really high percentage of like millennials and Gen Z who just don't fuck with their parents at all. And it's not necessarily, and so, some of these people are assholes, but not at the percentage we're talking about here. So, and the reality is having strong, stable bonds with your family is an integral part of like you being okay as a person. So, when your therapist says, hey, I think you should get rid of that, I don't know. I would think that's a good sign. In some cases, it may be necessary, but I think in a lot of cases, it is not, and they're being overbroad. Also therapy, a lot of people go to therapy and end up, quote unquote, realizing that they're non-binary or that they're trans or that they're fucking polyamorous or whatever the fuck. So, I think for some reason, having a therapy-oriented worldview is much more conducive to you believing a lot of degenerate nonsense to be okay. Right. So if you're believing in degenerate nonsense, probably not a great thing. So whereas, not for nothing, adopting religion coincides with you having a worldview that's fucking based and straight and jacked and awesome. Oh, what's up, man? Happy to see you. Just another great individual, friend of the channel. I'm back. We're going to be doing regular shows again. Happy to see you guys. I'm happy to see you guys in general. I'm glad that some of you came to hang out with me. Now that I'm going to be doing regular shows, I hope that we can continue to build the audience back up, get some of the people, some of the folks that we had before. That'd be great. Maybe some new folks. It'll be fun. Like I said, I'm doing thumbnails now, so I'm hoping that's going to increase the views. Trying to talk about hot topics. Yeah, and like I said, please come back Saturday. We're going to be doing a panel show on Saturday where we're going to be discussing we're reviving Touch Grass with Theo Snodgrass, which again is still one of my favorite shows. Certainly one of my favorite titles for a show that I've ever done, and one of my favorite shows that I've done. So we're going to be reviving that as well. Still kind of getting back into it. Streaming takes a lot out of me. And for those of you that don't know, I had to focus on stand-up for a bit, and I was doing good. Stand-up was really rolling. I was a regular here at a club in Las Vegas called Delirious Comedy Club. It was really fun. Had a great time with that. Now we're kind of moving on from that opportunity, and I'm seeking other opportunities. And in the meantime, I'm going to be doubling down on streaming. Because one of the cool things I remembered when I attended F&T meetup is people listen to these things from all over the country. So as a comedian, if I am building an audience that is all over the country, then I can go to where you are and perform stuff and get people to show up. So that's very exciting. This is a really cool opportunity to be able to speak to people in this way. It's been awesome. The fact that people tune in and listen has been really cool. I am having a great time with it. I think, yeah, it's just been, like I said, we're going to try to do, I think I'm going to be doing Wednesday. It's going to be my main streaming day. This particular stream came out on a Thursday, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be trying to drop the alerts on Twitter a lot earlier so that people can get a hold of them. And then I'm going to be putting the clips on my YouTube channel and also on a Facebook page called Theo's Snodgrass Clips and a couple of other places. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It was really awesome talking to you guys today. I'm going to be dipping out, but please enjoy the intro to my other show as the outro to this show. Thank you very much. Good night.
Look good. This Johnson crack look good. Well, look at my crack. No. Look at that crack.